He'll speak normally, bro.
Bubbles, I will give you one more opportunity.
What?
Bubbles,
Yeah, what's up?
you have disgraced your family.
What? Bubbles, why is your mic like Dead Boys now? It's so loud. What?
Oh wait, fuck! I have it turned up really loud. My bad. Hold up. Let me turn it down.
You put
Yeah,
on
I
the
forgot I had
fucking
it
rainbow
high.
flag, I will disown you, bitch.
The rainbow flag. Well, I don't have the rainbow flag on, so I'm good.
It is
Dude.
multicolored. That is rainbow.
Here, it's like I'll change my fucking server profile.
Bubbles, you don't have Nitro.
Oh fuck, I don't. You're right.
You have Classic, I think.
Do I? I'm not paying for more fucking nitro.
How much did you pay for this? $2 or $9?
I don't fucking remember.
Uh,
Tanwin, who you have? Tanwin, who do you have?
I have
If
the goat Nanami. The right side.
If Bubbles wants to mod, he can mod. Would you like to moderate, Bubbles?
I am not modding this shit, bro, because I just don't want to deal with that shit. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. Bubbles has spoken.
Who else? I'm fine with debt moderating.
Okay, that would you like to moderate?
Yeah, sure, I'll moderate.
Okay, do
don't
you
do
have the
dumb shit.
moderation terms?
Thank you, Bad. Appreciate it.
Okay, yes, you do. All right. Would you like to pick a judge, Tanwin?
We don't need a judge, do we?
If the argument goes over your head, I would like someone to represent the argument.
We don't have anyone in VC that could judge. Or at least I don't think so.
Villain, would you like to judge?
I doubt it.
No, thank you, sir.
Okay, can that clarify arguments?
Sure. Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, thank you, Sir Tanwin.
Are you gonna debate me like this?
I do not see why not.
You guys agree to the Blue Marvel rules, 3-limit fallacy.
No, bitch.
All right, we can get started. I'll just go ahead and start. Hold on, wait. Let me ping for this in Academy. Give me a sec. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and start it. Nanami just heals over what's it called? Goodwill Yuji and speed, and Yuji can tag Hanami.
Does he not go relative? Okay, wait, let's go to the first part of your skilling. Does he not tag, or did I not go relative in the Mahito fight?
Can you give me an instance?
Okay.
Yep.
Whoever's eating that apple, shut that shit down, boy.
What's wrong with this nigga?
Yo, why are you forcing a fucking accent, Geass?
What do you mean?
Nigga, you do not sound like that. You black as hell, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nigga, I've been seeing you. Your ass is black, nigga. Don't fucking play with me, nigga.
Okay, shut the fuck up. We're in a debate.
Okay.
Let me. I'm grabbing that scan before I was rudely interrupted.
But his real accent popped out for a second. Funny as shit. Go ahead.
Just one moment.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Guys, does this bot not have Dino? The server.
Do you need the Dinobot for some reason, Tanwin?
I just needed to poll, bruh. You know what I mean? The poll W's. That's all that matters.
We do not appeal to boards in the server.
I know. I'm chilling.
Okay.
All right, but regardless,
Please look at the scans.
Okay.
If we look at the bottom, we can see that they both charge at the same time. And in the last panel, they strike the ground at the exact same
How are
time.
you inferring that they're striking at the same time?
We can see their start point and their end point. So when we look at speed, wait, can I finish? When we look at speed, we can see from the beginning to the end that if two objects move and travel the same distance at the same snapshot in time, they are equal in speed.
Yeah, I'll get you the panel right before this. Do you know what chapter it is?
These are two consecutive panels.
I'm aware. Do you know what chapter it is?
It is chapter 29.
Okay. We don't see their positions before this.
We do not need to.
Okay. How can you? Because if speed is distance, over time, and we are unaware of the distance, and we don't know the time because the manga panel, how can you infer their speed?
So we actually do know the distance. What we can see is that they both have their attacks charged, and from the time that they charge and are ready to release, they both strike the ground at the exact same instant. That's what the manga panel captures.
Yeah, that's dependent on time quantification, which we're unaware of.
No. If we did not have a snapshot, yes, I agree. But we have a beginning snapshot and an end snapshot. So the only way two objects can reach the same distance within the same two instances must be because they are equal speed.
No, because in these panels, if you want to go by, if you want to go by this logic, for one, we don't know if they reach at the same time. But two, the more important thing would be, Yuji's about to punch him, right? So he's like dragging his punch and about to hit him, whereas Nanami's still pulling his strike. So Nanami is
still. What do you mean pulling his strike? What does that mean? I do not understand
his swing yet. He hasn't begun his swing yet.
I know. I'm saying they both charged or cocked their attacks. I already agreed to that. I assume that. Actually, I didn't assume. I agree that's the case.
Okay. So you're telling me that they charged it, but they still landed at the same time. How do you know that they both charged it at the same time?
What do you mean? So let's be clear. There are different parts of charging. Okay. So the end of their charge time, right? The moment
can you give me pictures?
Oh yes, of course. Tanwin. Okay, peak params. Yes, you may send many pictures now, Tanwin. Okay, so let's be clear. From the time they charge their attack, right? We know. I hope. Do we agree that the start of a punch is the wind up?
The start of the punch is the lineup. Yeah.
Wind up. Yes. Okay. So Yuji must be about to release his attack because he's at full wind up. He has his arm cocked back. Okay.
So the only Nanami has it more cocked back.
Yes, I was going to get to Nanami. Please hold your horses. Okay. So Nanami is also winding up because he's doing what we call a backhand strike. And the way we know he's doing a backhand strike is because we can see, if you look at the scan, he literally reaches with the back of his hand and we can see it extend forward. So we can tell he's using a backhand strike. The wind up for a backhand strike begins with the arm cocked back in the angled elbow shape, okay? Yep. So there we know that he's done a full wind up, okay? So that means they are both now at charged attacks. So when they hit the ground at the same time, that means
it's not reaching the conclusion you wanted to reach.
The thing that I'm trying to reach is that they are in full wind up or full cockback. And
I agree. They're both winding it up. I agree. They're both cocking it back and then striking. My question is still the same, that why do you think that they're cocking back at the same time? And two, with the Nanami's is cocked back even
Wait, hold on. That's two questions. No. You just posed two questions. Can I address the first one? It's a shotgun. You literally asked me two at once, okay?
Well, we went over the first one already a few times. So
I'm going to be very specific in response. So why are they at the same time? A manga frame captures moments and times. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we see the snapshot and they're both in full windup, it is not me assuming anything. We actually get the manga panel that shows that they are both in full windup.
Yeah, okay. And I'm distinguishing that by saying in this panel, we see Nanami's swing is cocked back further than Yuji's.
It doesn't. Are you saying? I don't see the issue, right? Because he's doing it backhand. He literally has to wind up further back.
Okay, I agree. But what I'm saying is, how can you now compare and contrast and say, okay, they're attacking at the same speed? Because if speed is different by time and they have different distances in this moment and the time is unknown to us, we don't have a way to reach that conclusion, dude.
Yes, we could. If you're just saying that his windup for this specific attack is a bit behind, then that's fine. So I agree here. Nanami could be some small distance faster with the windup, or sorry, with the backhand, right? But all in all, they reach relative speeds. Even if you want to use the distance, right, between a human body, we can take Nanami, who's I don't know, 5'9". It will only be the distance of his forearm, right?
I zoned out for a second.
Yeah, the difference in distance would at most be the difference of his forearm, right? Because the difference between a forearm and a back arm is your forearm and body position. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to include his forearm, he might have traveled maybe a foot within that time. At most, that's the maximum. Okay.
That's okay.
If you want to say that, that's still within the relative regime, right?
Okay.
Because that's the difference between.
How do you get to that? Because my whole point was that these are like separate actions, right? And you've agreed on that, right? And I'm
of
using
course,
like,
a forearm is not the same as a back arm. Yes, of course.
Yep. Okay. Absolutely. So
it's the difference of it.
Different
It's the difference of it. He's not a very tall man, so it's the difference of at most about a foot. Okay. If that's the case, we're just saying that there is some short distance, but they are both acting within the relative regime, right? We agree in combat, you do typically stand less than a foot apart, or sorry, strikes only differ by a foot or less, right? Yeah. If I throw a jab and then I throw a straight, there's only a few inches separating those punches, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's still within the relative regime. It's what we could expect in combat.
Again, that was my first establishment, which is that there's a form of distinction in what they're doing. That's the starting point, right? Point X. Now, point Y would be the conclusion point or the ending point. So the ending point in this case would be when they actually land the strike. So if I could define that the starting point is even like slightly different from them, how can we infer that they actually landed the strike at the same time? It kind of circles back to the first thing we're discussing.
Yes,
so if you want, we can move on.
You're not understanding the point. I'll clarify. So what we're looking at is what's called an approximation, okay? Not an analytic solution, okay? So when we discern that there's a difference of at most a foot, but typically between a few inches and let's just say up to 12 inches, okay? That is normal combat distance, okay? So that would put them in the relative regime, right? It's the difference between two types of punches, okay? So if they could move a few inches within however many seconds, and they both strike at the same time, that puts them in the relative ballpark of each other, okay?
Again, yes, that's fine. Again, presupposing that they reach at the same time, that they're moving at the same time.
No, yes, I'm not. What the manga panel does is show us the snapshot. We can see in the second scan. Let me finish. In the second scan, when they hit the ground, it is at the exact same moment. You can see them collide with the ground, okay? And both their arms are fully extended, okay? So that means they did reach at the same time. It's not an assumption. It's literally what's demonstrated. Okay. If you feel you were responding, you want to move.
Hold on. We see both of their arms on the ground, right? Which would just mean that Nanami, for example, Nanami could be striking first. He hits the ground, and then before he picks his sword back up, Yuji also hits the ground. That's fine. The impact mark would still be there. We don't know if... Hold on, one sec. We don't know if the impact was created by just Nanami or both of them together.
Well, no. We can see an impact from Yuji as well, right? It's not just coming from one direction. It's in multiple directions, this impact, okay? And so when stop, there are two sounds made. So when Yuji makes a slam, we can see a wham, but there's also another wham. Do you think he made a double slam in one instance? Or is it more likely that when that name finished, when there are two whams, there are actually two hits striking the ground at that moment. Okay, that's what wham wham is. That means two.
Look at the panel. Look at the panel where they're striking. They're striking multiple times. Like, look at the Nanami panel and Yuji panel. You see what I mean?
How do you get that they struck the ground multiple times?
Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on.
Okay. Do you know the anime would clarify this very clearly? Would you like to see the anime?
I don't feel like using anime for it.
You know why you don't want to see it, Tanwin?
No, it's not even that, because the anime could just be depicting something that looks more cool, or like the aesthetic looks more like better as a scene.
Yes, but it's like, more consistent. It lines up directly with the manga. You know that. Don't do that.
I just oppose that.
Huh?
I just oppose that.
Okay, so it's more consistent, yes?
The anime could just be a studio's interpretation of it.
I know, but it's more consistent for it to depict the manga with very clear accuracy. Much more often than not.
Clear accuracy?
Yes, when we see the manga panels, they appear in the anime. That's a clear and explicit distinction. I mean, sorry,
of course.
Clear and shared imagery. Huh?
Well, of course, that's the source material.
Okay, so it's saying more often than not, it does not go off on its own. It actually just redepicts what happened in the manga.
But again, it would inherently have to redepict it because that's the source material that they're trying to portray. But that doesn't mean they can't alter things in the anime.
I'm not disagreeing. It's possible. I'm saying
see them alter dialogue all the time.
We don't. No, hello. When do we see them alter dialogue?
Fukuda when he studied Megumi.
So you showed one instance. What about all the other times they copy it word for word?
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, the reason it's copied word for word, I'm not disagreeing with that, is because the source material. But what I'm saying is,
so it's more consistently
altered as well.
No, I'm not saying it. There's no chance it is altered. I'm saying it's much more consistent for it to be accurate directly. Okay.
Yeah, and you're
of course, it's possible for the studio to make differences. What I'm saying is these differences are far and few between. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, I don't think this would be an example of consistency because you're just telling me that they're depicting what they're supposed to depict, but as long as we can't actually tell because there can be distinctions, you can't provide a consistency.
I know it's not. No, it's not. You're not understanding.
In that manner.
You're not understanding. Of course, we can't. Again, just you saying we cannot say with some infallibility this thing is true does not deny its consistent trend. So let me just grab the anime clip and then let me grab the anime clip because you. I mean, it sounds like you may be ranting.
I'll give you a reason. I'll just give you a reason.
No. Let me wait. No, I just argue for the anime clip. Please allow me to grab it. Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Tanwin. Many blessings unto you. Do not put the double cup in the slurpee. If anyone has the anime clip, please send it.
What anime clip is it?
Yuji and Nanami versus Mahito. I may have it though.
Oh.
Yeah, they
No, Tanwin, we said I was getting a clip. Please.
I know. I'm looking at it. I don't think they show it like that.
Tanwin. No, we said we will wait.
Yeah, dude, I know, Geass.
Here we go. Yeah, I got it right here, motherfucker, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, one moment. Okay, please look at 234. They strike the ground at the exact same moment, Tanwin. Yep, we see it right there. I'm sorry, it's more like 237, 230, 236, 237.
We don't see them striking the ground in the anime. We see them jumping towards Mahito. And
wait, Tanwin. Yes, literally, yes, we do. You know, that's right.
Dude, he jumps up and then Mahito kind of like explodes.
And we can see them strike. They literally both collide at
Where
the
is
same
the
time, and we see the
strike?
ground
We
hit.
see them jump. Where is the strike?
It's a two. I'll screenshot it. You
Go ahead.
Tanwin, this is low tier. This is very low tier.
Tanwin, you're a low tier.
Okay, do you see? Yes, we do see the strike. Please stop capping.
Are you serious?
What do you mean serious? You said there was no strike, and I'm showing you that they
You
struck the ground.
cannot use the double gulp clap for the
Are you
fucking
being real right
Slurpee.
now? Because again,
Black, shut up.
I agree that they attempted to strike. I'm saying they jumped towards Mahito. Mahito explodes. Then we don't see the strike actually occurring, right? So we have no basis to make an inference.
Are you asking if they strike Mahito? Because they don't strike Mahito in the manga.
I'm aware, but they don't even like strike like we don't see them hit the ground like we do in the manga.
Are you fucking Charlie?
They don't hit the ground.
I need an interpretation. He's obviously being no. This is
No.
one thing. Can you please look at the scan?
Both those scans are just showing them both impacting the ground. We can't tell what time it is, or what, when it happened. It's just depicting them both striking at the ground.
Like we see the impact, right?
Exactly. Does it show them both hitting the ground here?
Dude, we see both of them jumping in, but we don't see who's actually creating that impact.
Wait, hold up. Here's the
We
issue.
we also don't see
If we see, wait, hold up 1 second. If we see them both jumping in,
moderates agree with me.
Hold up. I got you right here. They both reach. I'm gonna show you right there. Yeah, it's very simple. They both reach Mahito at the exact same time, both parallel with one another. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Literally, they reached them at the exact same time. You can see.
Yeah, I don't disagree. We don't see a starting distance. That's fine.
We don't. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Where?
1 second.
They like cut in and
you
out.
You want to rat.
I'm not ratting, dude. They literally cut in and out between the scenes.
No, we do see where they start.
Dude, this doesn't even matter. It's base non.
Wait, hold up. This doesn't. Wait, we already agreed to the starting point. They both started and cocked their attacks at the exact same time.
Yeah,
the thing in question. Let me finish. The thing in question was whether they struck and both reached Mahito at the same time. I wasn't done. I proved that. So if they reach both at the same time, we already went over the starting distance. Please stop going back to that.
Dude, you're lost in the sauce. What I agreed to is when they're cocking their hands back and then about to strike, they're having a similar starting distance, right? But I didn't agree, and I already put this in question. When they actually go in and close the distance, I question whether they have similar distance between them or not. That's what I'm questioning again, right?
We already went through this. If they went to the scan, let me finish. If they start, we can see them in the panel right next to one another. They're within a very short distance of one another, okay? If they both reach Mahito, and I sent the screenshot, they literally both reach him at the same time, okay? That means that they started at the same time, and they both ended up at the same place at the same time, right? Because we see the parity and parallel between them, okay?
Wait, say that again?
They cross the same distance at the same time because they start within a very short distance of one another and end up at the exact same position, parallel positions at the exact same time. In the screenshot I sent.
We can move on.
Okay. Cool. You're not understanding.
This doesn't matter anyway. It's based on me.
Okay, so this is base.
I'm killing it all overtime.
Okay, how long does it take him to get into overtime in a fight?
It just depends on the time.
No, it depends how long he's working. It takes him hours to get into overtime.
No, dude, that's not the function of it. Overtime is basically him working literally overtime.
No, it's a time frame. Please show me the scan for overtime.
What the heck? Okay, yeah. Can someone get me the fanbook description of overtime?
Yeah, and
I don't think you have that.
Yeah, get it. Yeah, just grab it, please.
What scan do you need?
Do you have the fanbook example how they describe overtime?
I do. I know what you're talking about. I can get it for you. Well, just so I'm not biased, can you describe it for me?
And in Shibuya, the entire time he's like literally just in overtime.
Okay, I got you. I know. Yeah. That's the manga extra. 1 second.
I know the Shibuya one. I'm just asking for the family explanation of.
Like what overtime is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mm.
Thought you meant like him.
There's a
doing
description of what overtime is.
You talking about the thing
Self-explanatory.
you like
It's
extra
just,
20%.
Your
yeah,
mic cut off
it's just
twice, man. I'm sorry.
it's a binding vow he puts himself under to where if he works under like where he can't use a certain amount of his cursed energy, but over time he's able to use
Blah
it.
blah blah.
Like, that's how that works. It's not really. It's a self-explanatory. It's just working overtime in most general sense.
I could vouch for it. I'll tell you what it is, but I just looking for
Okay,
it.
sure. Please explain it, Mookie.
All right, so it stated
Do
that.
not type in scans. Stop typing in fucking scans.
Okay, do you? Yeah, she actually want me to explain it until I find it.
I'll send the scan, but
Sure, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to do, I don't fucking know anymore.
It's just stated like the user limits himself to 70 to 80%, and that if he doesn't do it, he only have like 101% versus when he does do the binding vow.
No, what's the? That's not what I'm asking about. I'm asking about when they specify the time frame. Do they give
that doesn't exist.
The timing of overtime?
Yeah.
So then, okay, but we know it's consistently he turns into overtime after he gets off work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once he's worked over 8 hours.
Yeah.
Sure, so,
do you know what overtime actually is? Come on.
Hold on. I agree. I know what overtime is. It's basically him getting off shift, like he's working past when his shift ends, right?
Yes, that requires at least 8 hours. That's what overtime is. You only are paid overtime.
Okay. So wait. Yes. Are you saying he's only 8 hours in the fight in order to activate overtime?
No, it requires 8 hours of him being in a battle-ready mode. It's him working.
Where does it say that?
I'm saying it's a consistency. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah, where?
Okay, can someone get the scan of the first time he says he's going into overtime?
Yeah, I sent it.
I can vouch for it at least. It's like
it should be a little bit. It should be one before this. Come on.
No, it's stated in the 20. I'm getting
the only time we
now.
see him going to overtime is when he fights Molly. So I'm telling you.
It should be one before this.
No, this shows he gets off shift and he powers up. It's so simple.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying should it not be? Bro, wait, Tanwin, that's just your argument. Could you show the scan before this? He says he's about to go into overtime and he takes off his time. You're showing after he already took his time.
I was just showing you the my just saying, oh, it's time dependent. Grab that again. Like, I need to stop closing my chapters after I finish reading.
Tom, it's chapter 23.
The Hanami fight is like 19 or 20, I think.
No, the one he posted is 23.
Oh, my bad. Thank you, Doubles.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, I'll be back in like a couple minutes.
You want the first reference to overtime?
Okay, yes, that was the statement I was looking for. I'm not working overtime. And then his cursed energy grows. And Mahito says explicitly he restricts himself based on time. So the time. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
so the overtime has to be a time dependent ability.
What'd you say?
It has to be time dependent.
Yeah, but we know he can like keep it activated like throughout the entirety of Shibuya.
But I'm not commenting on when it is activated. I'm saying the condition for it to be activated. Wait, no. That, if he does that, can you mute him? I'm trying to speak.
I understand. Yes,
I'm trying to speak. Let me clarify my point. My point is that there is in fact a time limit before he can activate overtime. So if that is the case,
I know that.
But that means it would take him over 8 hours to activate it.
Oh my god, it's just depending on when his shift ends. But again, if we're using strongest variations of the
oh my god, do you not know when the 9 to 5 ends?
Huh?
Do you not know when the 9 to 5 ends?
Yeah.
After 8 hours. So only after 8 hours in a fight would he be able to use this ability.
Oh my god. Are you retarded? That's not we don't know where his shift is. It's not that it doesn't say that it's 8 hours from when he starts a fight. He's not been fighting Mahito for 8 hours.
No, you didn't understand what I already explained this. I said from when he starts his work day. Work day is 8 hours.
Cool. I agree.
Okay, so that means during the fight when he's fighting Hanami, he would not be in overtime unless he somehow survives 8 hours, which is dependent on my scaling.
Again. It's not like a certain prerequisite where he would inherently like have to do 8 hours first. The Hanami fight could take place after his work time, but that doesn't matter anyways because we're just doing strongest versions. So.
Wait, no, we never agreed to strongest versions.
Yo, you're a rat. You're getting your head.
I'm not ratting. No one typically agrees to strongest versions without specifying.
No one typically. Okay, so I'll just be using suppressed Hanami with his arm closed.
No,
we can do base Nanami.
No, we would argue for the I agree there are specifications that can be made. We didn't make any. So the most consistent showing of Nanami is in base. Okay, so when you say overtime, guess what?
What do you mean by consistency here?
He consistently works inside of the 8-hour day.
We see more time on panel from overtime Nanami than we see base Nanami.
But that's not the time I'm talking about. He's consistently or shown to work in his best character state most of the time. Okay.
No, when he does, we don't. That's not what's consistent.
Oh, sorry. I'm not sorry. Let me cut caveat. I misspoke. I didn't mean shown. He is most of the time in his best state, right? Because in this scan, you can see what does he usually do after he leaves work on time. Work on time, okay? That means no overtime. He eats, drinks, and reads. He mostly stays home. Unless he's going into overtime at his fucking house, which he couldn't because he's not overtime, then that means he's still not even going overtime.
You know he doesn't
no, I'm not done. In your own scan, it says he usually leaves work on time, okay?
Yeah, that's
Thank you. So then no, he's most likely not in overtime. So I'm using the most consistent and most likely version. Thank you.
Shut up. Damn. Anyway, all I'm saying is, we see Nanami. He's kind of like planning to retire, right? He doesn't like doing his job as much as anymore.
I don't. Someone vouch for that. If that's true, I doubt. Okay, sure. But someone vouch for that.
Mookie, can you vouch that he's like just doesn't like?
Yeah, Nanami doesn't like being a sorcerer or working a normal job. Yeah. That's why he does overtime.
Yeah. Okay.
So, he doesn't like. Wait, no. That's not. The question was he doesn't like being a sorcerer, so he's going to retire.
No. I'm saying that he just doesn't like his job. Like his job is being a sorcerer.
Okay, he doesn't like sorcery anymore.
Yeah, he just doesn't like a job.
Okay,
like
is that true? Is that true, Bubbles?
Yeah, he hates being a sorcerer and a normal job. He said that.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So he doesn't like working. So after he's done working, he's just chilling, right? But when he works, we don't know if he's actively fighting. He could be taking on important fights after work because that's when he's at his peak potential.
No. You're misrepresenting the statement. And then two. So here's things. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna ignore the second part because that wasn't a part of the first part. The first part was he hates his job. I agree. So if he hates his job, he even says explicitly, no matter what, I'm clocking up by 6. Okay. So that means he typically tries to get the job done as quickly as possible. Okay. So that means he doesn't actually want to go into overtime. He wants to finish his normal day.
Yeah, because he doesn't like working in general. But what I'm saying is when he takes on important fights, he's in overtime. So we see him in actual fights more in overtime.
I have a question. Is that because they happen to be at night?
He generally the only time we actually see him fighting, almost all of the instances are like overtime. So
yes, but wait, that's not what that's not what I asked you. Is it because they're at night? And the answer is yes. These fights are at night. That's why they're overtime.
I don't see why it's specifically because they're at night. Maybe he could just like.
Are you? You're a fucking rat. You know this is low tier. Stop. Okay. So you know that if his shift ends in the middle of the midday, the evening, okay, and he fights at night, that's when. What? Are you serious? That's when shifts end.
Yeah. Okay. That's how a general like 9 to 5 job would end. But again, all we've established is.
Wait, hold on. Actually, wait. No. I can even put it like this. He explicitly says, I'm clocking out by 6. That means that has some relevance to the end of his day. Okay. So if 6 is when he gives a marker for when his day ends, guess what? That means the nighttime events, right, which are later, would have to be during overtime. That's why they happen at night.
What do you say?
Thank you.
Again. Okay.
What?
So do you not think that all we've established is 8 hours, right? So do you not think that he could be taking his job?
That's
from
not all we've established. That's not all we've
That is all
established.
we've established. I went to the 95.
Can you clarify that? Can you clarify what I just said? Is he actually responding to my argument?
He just said that he wants to get off by 6. That's what
So that tells
said.
us when his day would end. Okay, if his day ends then and night is later, that means it's after his shift. But then when you're ratting, you're ratting.
That's fine. Your criteria for how we determine character versions is the one that's more consistently shown to us. The one more consistently shown to us.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I didn't say shown to us. I said to be the case, right? So shown or to be in the series.
Yeah,
not
show me him
shown
fighting. Show me him fighting in base more than he does in overtime. Go ahead.
No. Wait, I'm not. I didn't even make a claim about fighting, right? So day to day is the average or consistent character version. Okay. So what they say is he usually goes home when he leaves on time. Guess what? He eats, drinks, and reads. Okay. So that means he is typically in the scenario where he's not in overtime. Okay. So in his day to day or most consistent character version, he's not in overtime. We only see in specific instances.
How do you know?
Let me finish. He's only fighting in specific instances and goes overtime. Okay.
Hold on. How do you know that whenever he's on his shift, he's actively fighting or he's fighting at all? I'll just question that.
That doesn't have relevance to the point.
Okay,
your character, you're consistent. Wait, no. Let me. What? You asked me a question. Can I finish that one?
Go ahead.
Or is this cutoff hour? Okay. So if it's a consistent character version, that means we don't have to only consider when he's fighting. It's consistently how he is or the level of power he's at a consistent basis, which is base form, okay? And that's what it literally says in the scan. He mostly stays home. Unless you think he's fighting fucking cursed spirits in his house in overtime, then guess what? Actually, that doesn't even matter because it usually says he leaves work on time, okay? Thank you. Come again.
That's not a defeater.
Yes, it is. It's
because yes. Let me explain. I'll let you speak. If you want to tell me that he generally fights right after or during his shift or after his shift, that's what we're trying to determine right now.
That's not what I'm saying. No.
What we're trying to determine right now is what version of them would be picked during a hypothetical versus battle, right? This hypothetical versus battle would be the versions of them that consistently fight, right? Or if I say, what?
No, it does not have to be that. No.
Okay, I'm not gonna agree to whatever random conditions you have for characters.
No, it's not. Wait, hold up. You don't have to agree or disagree.
This would be the one we're using.
Okay, so no. The problem here is you're only looking at the specific fights, and I'm showing those are specific cases. Okay, so if this is most consistently the case. If we were to take Nanami at random, right, because we never specify a specific time or power up that he has, okay, guess what? That means the most consistent or the most likely version that would be fighting is base Nanami.
Yeah, why?
So you can say I'm taking a specific. Wait, let me finish. You can say I'm taking a specific version, but that does not deny, because this is a general debate, that this is the most likely interpretation for how Nanami would fight. Okay, which is what we're doing here.
Yeah, why?
It's the most likely because it's
why.
I already explained this 3 times, Tanwin.
Okay,
please stop.
Because it's the most consistent one shown. Why does that mean it's more likely to be the one we use in a hypothetical battle? You're saying words.
Yes, no, you're not understanding. If you pull someone from random, okay, the most likely way that they are is the most likely way if you pull them at some instance, right, which this fight would happen, and appear. Okay, so if they were to fight. This is the most likely condition that would occur.
I don't agree to that.
You don't have to agree. It's an inductive argument. So, wait, Tanwin, I wasn't. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Okay, so yes, it's an inductive argument. So saying it's most probable, okay? I'm not saying you necessarily or logically are binded to agree. I'm saying it's just the most likely interpretation, okay? Thank you.
Okay, and I'll explain why my one's the most likely interpretation, Geass. So basically, when he's fighting, right, if we're going to determine what version of them would be more, like, we would use in a hypothetical versus battle, fight. You see the keyword fight? If they fight more in overtime and we see them more consistently fighting in overtime, that's the version we're taking in a hypothetical versus battle fight, moron.
You begged the question, Tanwin. You literally just said, if they're fighting, let me finish. If they're fight, you just said if they're fighting, we're going to take only from the times or pull only from the times they are fighting. It literally begs the question on why we should do that. I gave the inductively strong argument. You're giving a very specific niche and inductively weak argument. So my interpretation on this fictional matchup is the most likely. Thank you.
I'm providing a basis for my induction that's greater than yours because you're using a general, broad, vague version, right?
Yes, you beg the question, literally.
Huh?
You beg the question in your interpretation.
How is that begging the question?
Because the reason you're saying that we should take these specific versions of Nanami is because he's fighting in those specific versions. But when we look at your conclusion, which is he would be fighting in overtime, your only reasoning is that he's fighting in these panels. That begs the question on why him fighting in the panels is why we should take him at this very specific character version of him fighting. Okay?
Yeah, that's not very. I could say the same. I could flip the same argument and say that's the thing you're saying when you argue for a general version.
It's not. We general by that. Let me finish. We specified no specific character version. So general means it is most likely or the majority of the time the case. Okay. So I'm giving the general interpretation because we gave a general character version. Okay. So that means my inductive argument matches the general description we gave. Okay. Your specific version loses out inductively on the nature of analytically what specific means.
We can move on, bro.
Okay. Yes, we can move on, Tanwin.
Okay. Yeah. Nanami again. You never really attacked my Nanami's faster in overtime too.
That wasn't a part of. We were going over the condition.
I know.
We literally went over whether he would even be in overtime, so we couldn't have gotten to and granted that he was in overtime and scaling somewhere.
What, dude? That's fine. I'm bringing it up now because you haven't gone over it, so we can go over.
Okay, please bring it up.
Okay, Nober says Nanami is the standard for grade 1 sorcerer.
Where's that at?
Sure, gotcha. Chapter 100.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go in like 5 minutes, but.
Oh man, okay, then, man.
More technical point, but Nanami just says that he's on another level and he uses like Nober's strength as like a baseline for how.
But I'm not. You're just telling me something from a scan I cannot see. Please show me the scan, Tanwin.
I'm sending.
Thank you.
Check scans. There you
go. Okay. So this is what it means. No, he says so. This is what it means to be grade 1 sorcerer. But we know. Hold up. We know there are differences between the grades, right? For example, Jogo is special grade, and so is 15 Finger Sakuna. So if there are gradients to the grade, Nanami could just be at the low end where he gets his ass bodied. And do you know this doesn't even matter? Do you know Hanami is special grade?
Wait. We can answer in a second. Do you want to argue over what you just said first?
What's your interpretation? Is it different than mine?
Give me your interpretation again.
I agree he can be grade 1 sorcerer, but we know there are gradients between the grades, right?
Yeah,
special grade can go from. Go ahead.
I don't disagree.
Okay, so that just means he fits somewhere in that gradient. I don't disagree with that.
Nobra's seen Yuji before, and only when she's
seen Yuji.
Yep, she's fought alongside Yuji.
Okay.
And then seeing Nanami, now she's like, okay, this is what like a great.
Has she not? She hasn't seen him since. When was the last time she saw him?
Origin of Obedience, which is after Goodwill.
That's the okay.
Get him over Goodwill Yuji. That's all I care about right now.
So you're saying he's over Goodwill Yuji because of this?
Yep.
I'm not. Wait, hold up. Are you saying that because of this grade, that means he's this specific strength over another character?
Oh my god! Yes.
Wait, let me just be clear. Let me just be clear. You know that Yuji is still very low grade in the current series, right? And he's very over special grades, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay, so that means the rankings are inherently they don't determine how strong you are.
There can be exceptions. I agree.
Okay, so then that just means you. Wait, go ahead.
We see with Maki and Yuji's like about to be put on trial for literally killing people. So obviously he's not going to be like given a new rank. Oh, you know what? Have this new rank.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you. There can be reasons as to why the grade doesn't. So, for example, do you know that Utah is giving special grade when he first entered Jujutsu High?
Yeah.
And he's ass. He fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's fine. My point.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this doesn't mean anything. Yuji could still be over.
Listen. All I'm saying is, that can be the perspective. That could be because of external factors. But to the characters, all of these characters have just recently been promoted to grade 1, right? I agree. If there was some external circumstances,
No, who got promoted?
Yuji and Nobara. And Nobara looked
They got promoted to grade 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Nobara only after observing Nanami specifically says, okay, this is what determines a grade 1 strength. This is the baseline. This is the threshold.
I don't think that means baseline. I think he just fits in the mode. If they're both grade 1, then that means he's in this. Yuji's in this mode too.
Huh?
If they're both in the group, that means Yuji's within the group too.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that doesn't scare him above.
You didn't catch my point. We can move on.
Yeah, but you're saying she only comments after this. Why does her comment mean this thing's true? I mean, sorry, why is it the only way this could be true?
Okay, because even after observing Yuji, he doesn't feel like that.
It's an argument from silence, literally. I'm still trying to understand.
It's not an argument from silence, because an argument from silence would be more like, oh, just because she hasn't said this about Yuji must mean like Yuji doesn't have grade 1 strength. That's not what I'm saying.
Yes, that's literally an argument. You just described an argument.
I'm agreeing Yuji is grade 1, but what I'm describing a thought process where only upon encountering someone even stronger, she makes a claim that okay, now this is the level of grade 1.
But it's in question whether he's stronger. So you just presupposing.
I know. Oh my God, you're nitpicking.
But then I have a question too. When she says he's on another level, from what? From her?
From another level, and she immediately attributes it to the strength of a grade 1 sorcerer. So I think this should be in comparison.
No, wait. But she's saying he's on another level from what though? Comparing it to what?
To Yuji and her, and Megami, I guess.
Where are you getting that from?
I just told you the attribution to it being the level of a grade 1 sorcerer.
How do you know she's not just talking about herself?
I just told you. Okay, we can move on.
But no, you're just saying. Okay, let me just repeat what you said, then I'll give my response. Yes, we can be done. Okay. So I'm asking you in reference to what? You're just saying because she saw Yuji, she's referring to him as well. She could just be referring to herself, which she is much below Yuji and Megami. So that means that just because she's referring to something which we don't know what, and she's seen Yuji, doesn't mean she's referring to only Yuji. If you're saying this is true because she never commented on Yuji, that is an argument from silence, Tanwin. Okay.
No, it's not. And I've already explained why. I'm drawing an induction based on the piece of evidence we have.
It's not an induction.
It is an induction. I'll explain why it's an induction.
How is that probability raising? How did you demonstrate there's probability being raised quantitatively?
Let me get into that. I know what an induction is. Let me get into that.
Okay.
If we know Nobara has seen all of said characters, and then we know Nobara is only making comment after seeing a new established set character, then we come to the conclusion the new set character is over the previous character that he has seen.
That's an argument from silence. It's literally on its face.
Dude, that's not okay. It would be an argument from silence if I didn't have a basis as to why there would be a correlation. I've created the correlation with the grade 1 statement.
No. The grade 1 statement is what's in question as to whether it puts him above Yuji. You just saying it's true based on her lack of comment on Yuji. Let me just drop what an argument from silence is, because this is silly.
I know an argument
is a pattern of reasoning in which the failure of a known source to mention a particular fact or event is used as a ground of an inference. That is the ground for your inference here, which is her lack of speech on Yuji's ability, right, is now reason or ground for Nanami to be over him. That's literally an argument from silence.
No, that's like if I said in this situation she calls Nanami strong and she doesn't call Yuji strong. Nanami must be over Yuji.
That's literally what you're saying. That's literally what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is literally what you're saying. Okay.
It's a statement used for comparison. That's the difference.
An argument from silence is a comparison. That's literally okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. This is sad.
Okay, sure.
Well, look, can I drop? Wait, I have one more.
I don't.
I have one more thing.
we
Can I? Wait, hold on. Let me make one more claim and then we can.
Not right now. Hold on. We can, if you want to continue this in 10 minutes, we can, or tomorrow. I'll just
Okay, I wanted to jump a scan, but okay.
Okay, cool. We can continue this in like 10 minutes.
Okay, you will get this lamp, but I'll see you soon.